I watched Netflix's Ooku The Inner Chamber, so you don't have to. This anime is about 10 episodes long, with the first episode being an hour-long prelude to the main story. At some points, this anime was a bit hard to watch, so keep that in mind before you decide to click on it. At the end, I'll give you my rating on this anime, so stick around till then. Let's do an episode-by-episode breakdown. Like I said, this episode was an hour long, and it starts with a young boy being attacked by a savage bear. This sets off a chain reaction of a plague spreading throughout the feudal Japan that only affects the male population. It wipes out countless towns and villages and leads to the women population working the fields and replacing the male workforce. In turn, the leftover young and handsome men that manage to survive become workers in the entertainment district and sell themselves to wealthy women who simply want their seed to become pregnant. The dynamic has even managed to affect their government, as governors, wealthy businesses, and even shoguns are now women instead of men. A new shogun enters the ranks and begins to question why the world has become this way, as the female shoguns must still take on male names as they come into power. In episode 2, we start to dive into the history of the country and how the first female shogun came into power. We meet a monk by the name of Arikoto who's visiting the Edo district. This man is immediately sequestered into a room where he's not allowed to leave, but we don't yet know why. At this point, it is widely known that the shogun possesses concubines in the Ooku, but some rumors are going around that the Ooku isn't what we think it is.
Master Myoke, may I ask, do you happen to know what sort of place the Ooku of Edo Castle is?
Of course I do. It's the women's quarters in the back of Edo Castle, where they keep all the women who serve the shogun.
The thing about that is, there is a strange rumor going around. And according to the rumor, it said that there are only men in the Ooku.
Interesting. Why would there only be men in the Ooku when it's supposed to be the concubines for the shogun? Hint hint, do you get it yet? It eventually comes to light to the reason why he's not allowed to leave the palace just yet. Take a look at this.
There are many monks out there who lie with women in secret. And here you are advocating for a pure ideal to the extent it's ridiculous. Bed with one of those wenches now!
That has to be the weirdest thing ever because, what? I don't even have words for that. Sadly, that does occur, and he's no longer considered a monk. Now, in episode 3 is where we actually end up seeing the shogun for the first time, and surprise, surprise, she's a woman. She's dressed as a boy, however, because it's supposed to be a secret that she's a girl, because at this point, men should still be in power. However, the next clip might make you laugh a bit.
Then the reason why I was brought to the castle.
You are here to serve as seed stock. That is your only part to play.
I'm sorry, did you say seed stock? Yes, he did. At this point, that's all men are. Well, that and this right here.
I have been brought here to serve as a stallion, in the hopes that my seed might be able to help save the Tokugawa clan.
Episodes 4 and 5, we get more history about the Ooku and how it came to be. Take a look at this.
See, Kasuga knew that he preferred young men over young women. So she thought that if she collected many women, there would have to be at least one among their number that maybe my father would fancy. And she's applied the same principle with me now, too.
There you go. So as it turns out, the old lady Kasuga wanted the gay shogun to love a woman to preserve the family line. This came out right after Pride Month, now that I think about it. Imagine that. Along with the Ooku history, in these 2 episodes, we also get more background and trauma of the current female shogun. It gets sad, but in episode 6, we get more background on Kasuga and the fact that she's a groomer.
Most of these men were hand-selected by Kasuga when they were young to become the late Shogun Iemitsu's retainers.
There you go, enjoy yourselves.
In short, all of the current successes these men have, they owe to Kasuga, and are therefore under certain obligations to her.
We also see how wealthy households are coping with the losses of their own sons, and some have even made their daughters become the new sons of the household.
I enjoy swordsmanship and riding horses more than sewing and flower arrangement. Until my monthly cycle comes along, living my life like this, I sometimes completely forget that I'm a woman.
It's crazy how men are so revered in this time period that not having one feels like you're gonna have nothing, to the point where you'd rather have a son than a daughter.
Please kill me.
Episode 7 is the point where they are so desperate for this woman to have a child who is a male heir that they continually bring random men from off the street to meet her in her bedchambers. And when it finally happens, this fool falls down the stairs and gets paralyzed from the waist down. Irony. So they keep bringing in new men until they get what they want, and then we get to episode 8 that shows the state of their poor lands continue to get worse as a famine ravages their land. Farmers can't pay their taxes, the male population continues to decrease at a significant rate.
There's now 1 man for every 5 women. This imbalance caused such upset that cities and farming villages were no longer able to function.
Now in episode 9, the country has no choice but to let women rule the lands. Thus, the secret female shogun comes to the forefront as other wealthy families start to do the same in the hopes that the male population will stabilize and life can return to the ways as they have always known it to be.
Our liege has arrived!
It was the inauguration of the female shogun, Iemitsu.
And finally, we're at episode 10 where things start to come to an end. At this point, it is all hail women. If you are a man, no you're not, you are seed.
Iemitsu had revitalized Yoshiwara as a place where women could buy seed from healthy young men.
And that's Ooku, the Inner Chambers. Overall, this anime is not what I expected. It was a kind of unhinged in a lot of moments, but a very dramatic take on the what if there weren't enough men scenario. Would I watch this again? Probably not. And because of that, I will be giving this anime a 3.5 out of 5. Thanks for joining me in this week's anime take. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!